Can you date or even have sex with a woman who doesn't speak your language, specifically English? Yes, you can. I've done it many times. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. As many of you know, I live an international lifestyle. I live abroad. I travel abroad. I travel a lot. I go to many different countries per year. I actually recorded this video in my second home in Paraguay. And not only am I an international guy, but unfortunately, I don't speak fluently any language except English. I don't speak Spanish, I don't speak Chinese, I don't speak German, I don't speak anything. I have smatterings of different pieces of different languages. I know words, basic words in several languages, but I can't speak anything except English. Yet I have dated and had sex, to be clear, with several women, numerous women, more than 10, who did not speak English. How is that possible? And to be clear, only about half of these women had anything to do with sugar daddy game. The other half was just normal game with no money involved whatsoever. So it certainly can be done. I'll show you exactly how to do it in 7 simple steps. Step 1. Learn some basic words in the language of the women that you're dealing with. This will help you a lot. You don't need to learn the language. You don't even need to learn sentences. Just basic words like cold, hot, up, down. Basic words also relating to girl, boy, sexual words. You might need those when you're doing certain things. You don't want to have a translator by your head while you're literally having sex with someone. So learn some basic words, memorize them. It's pretty easy. It won't take you very much time. It's going to help you a lot. Also, when people speak a foreign language and you understand a lot of the basic words, you can almost intuit what they're saying, even though they're speaking very quickly, as long as you hear those words. You can kind of figure things out. Number 2, you must be relaxed and patient. If you are a very impatient guy, and many of you are, this isn't going to work. If you are a guy with a short temper and you get mad or frustrated very easily, and many of you are, this isn't going to work. Also, on the flip side, if you're very excited to fuck her because she's so hot and you just can't stand it, and you're so excited, that also will not work. Gaming women who do not speak your language takes an extra level of patience, time, and logistics. And if you're hot to trot and you're excited or you're angry or impatient or frustrated, this is not going to work. It's already awkward enough if you're relaxed and patient. You make it 10 times harder if you are not those things. So just remember, if you don't have the ability to take a deep breath and relax and take things slow, give the time it needs, and be patient, then you probably shouldn't even attempt this. Stick with women who speak your own language or pay hookers. Number 3, she also needs to be patient. If she's a very impatient woman or she's an angry bitchy bitch, this is not going to work because she also needs some level of patience. She also needs to like you at least somewhat, which means she needs to be attracted to you already just by you talking to her. So ideally, she's attracted to your physical appearance, or she's attracted to the fact that you're a Westerner or have white skin or blue eyes or whatever makes you different from other women in her area. You need some of that aspect in there in addition to her being patient and understanding that if she's going to hook up with a guy who doesn't speak her language, she's going to have to jump through a few hoops that she wouldn't normally have to jump through. Now, often this isn't a problem, but I'm just stating this for the record because I've seen guys attempt this with women who had a lot of ASD or who are bitchy or short-tempered or very dominant or very structured. It's not going to work with those types of women. Before I go on to the other items, if you like this kind of content, dating multiple attractive women all at the same time without cheating or any drama, and having location-independent income, living the freest lifestyle a man can live, you should subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell, put a like on this video, and leave a comment on this video, and that way you'll be sure to get this content for free in the future. Number 4, you need to have relatively strong game. Gaming women who do not speak your language at all is not for dating beginners. It's a little more difficult and you can't do a lot of things wrong. Your margin for error is much more narrow. So if you're brand new at this or kind of new at this, you don't have a lot of game skills yet, you don't have a lot of confidence or outcome independence, you should hold off on this until you're more experienced. Gaming women actually getting to sex without paying for it with women who don't speak your language is more for guys at the intermediate dating level or the advanced dating level. If you're not there yet, that's perfectly fine. Set it as a goal. Work on your dating skills first with women who speak English, and then try this when you get a little more experienced. Item number 5, you must pre-plan internet logistics. You're going to need some sort of translation app on your phone or another translation device that's going to need internet. So if you are in some far-flung country where you don't have access to Wi-Fi and your cell phone doesn't work with mobile data, you're gonna have a problem. So you need to stop and pre-plan out, how am I gonna get internet wherever I'm doing this? If you're at a bar, if you're at a club, if you're doing day game at a mall, if you're back at your place, if you're meeting someone in the lobby of a hotel, whatever your logistics are, you need to fully know that on your phone, you're gonna have solid working internet. The last thing you want to do, and I've been guilty of this, is to have the translation app going and then the internet doesn't work well, or you change locations and the translation app is spinning and now there's no translation and you're staring at your phone and she's staring at you, getting nervous. That's not going to work. So you got to pre-plan these logistics. Obviously, you should pre-plan all of your sexual logistics before gaming anyone. That's standard game. But in addition to that, you need to add to the list, how am I going to know for sure I'm going to have internet in all the different locations I'm going to utilize to do what I'm about to do? Very, very important. Number 6, use my best friend, Google Translate. I have used the Google Translate app on my phone to game women and actually get to sex with women without paying for them. I've also used it to close pretty big business deals all over the world, working with people or talking to women who did not speak English. Is it a little bit of a hassle? Yes, that's why you need to be patient and have strong game. You see how this all ties together? Put the Google app on conversation mode, hit the button that says English, speak in your thing, it'll speak out her language, then she hits the button and speaks in her language and vice versa. It's not a big deal. You should make it a little fun. Joke around. When it doesn't work, laugh. Get her to laugh. It actually ends up being kind of a fun thing because it's probably something she's never done before. Instead of making a logistical problem and something to get frustrated about, make it fun, make it an exciting little game. If you don't want to use Google Translate, if you want to use a different translation apps, there are other apps. If you want to actually use a translation device, you can buy those on Amazon. That is perfectly fine. Some of them don't even require internet, which is really cool. Use whatever you need to use, but be sure you understand fully how to use the app or device before you actually do this. The last thing you want to do, I've seen guys do this, is they try to figure out the app or the device while they're gaming the chick for the first time. No, no, no. Get a friend or someone like that in an easy environment to test it out so you fully understand how it works, how you can screw it up, what to do and what not to do. Because you'll need to show her what to do as well. With certain languages, if your internet is strong enough and your device is strong enough, you can use conversation mode and you don't even need to press any buttons. You can just pause, speak, it'll translate, pause, speak, it'll translate back. Kind of cool. The point is, use these apps, but understand how to use them. Number 7, last one. Keep the concepts that you communicate over the translation apps simple. Don't get complicated. Don't talk about deep philosophies. Don't use legal terms or governmental terms or scientific terms. A lot of you guys are smart guys, lissigs, and so you use big language and big words and big concepts. Don't do that when you're dealing with someone who doesn't speak English. Simple questions, simple answers, simple follow-up questions. Try to speak as simply as you can. What I do is I try to remind myself to speak at a 5th or 6th grade level when I'm dealing with the app. I don't want anything complicated, which means that often when you're having conversations, you have to stop and think about what to say before you say it. Don't just blurt it out. Think it through. How do I say this clearly and simply? And then speak slowly. Some of you, including myself, have a tendency to speak quickly. You don't want to do that. You might even need to tell her to speak slowly because some of these women are going to just go blah, 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 into the phone and the phone will get confused. Don't do that. Speak slowly and it'll all work. One last word about this. Whenever I talk about not speaking Spanish or not speaking the language of a country, there's always a percentage of the audience that says, that's ridiculous, that's bullshit. If you're gonna move to a country, you need to learn their fucking language. No, you don't. I agree you should. I think it's a really good idea. I agree it's very helpful, but you don't have to. That's number 1. Number 2, if what I just described to you sounds like a nightmare to you, then don't do it. Stick with women who speak your language, and that's perfectly fine. Go to countries where a lot of women speak English. Don't go to countries like here in Paraguay, where the vast majority of women you meet will not speak English. Do what makes you happy. This video is just for those of you who are adventurous enough and are skilled enough to make this work, because I've made it work many times. It's not that big of a deal. If you want more information on dating women in different countries, you should watch that video podcast right now, and I'll see you in that video.